Pretty big change for a more than century-old institution. As of last month, it's a woman at the helm of the Harvard Club of Boston. Joining me now is that woman who managed to smash through a pretty prestigious glass ceiling, Karen Van Winkle. Karen, congratulations. Good to meet you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
You know, 108 years till a woman president. Did you see this as a major moment for women, or was this just Karen Van Winkle was elected head of the Harvard Club?
Well, I've been very involved with the Harvard Club for 31 years, so I think that it is a very welcoming place for women, although that's not the perception out there. And I think that I've always had a voice, and I'm thrilled to have this opportunity.
But I saw it as a big deal as a layperson. Did you see it as a big deal?
I did.
Because of your gender?
Yes.
Okay.
I did.
Why'd you want this job?
It's a volunteer job.
I know that. I know. That's another reason why did you want this job?
I felt it was my responsibility. I felt it was an honor and a privilege. I think the Harvard Club has a huge opportunity to become more diverse. And I think that with a woman at the helm, that'll make a big difference.
Roughly 3/4 of the members are men,
Yes.
and roughly half of the Harvard student body are women, because that's the diversity you're attempting.
Yes.
Tell a quick story. You went to Harvard, you were a kid, you went to Harvard on a scholarship.
Grew up in Cambridge.
Neither of your parents had gone to college, correct?
Correct. Neither graduated from college.
Graduated from college. Tell the story about one of the jobs you had. I read in Shirley Leung's great column on you in the Boston Globe. What was one of the jobs, cleaning dorms you had or something?
Yes, that was the highest paying job on campus. And as I wanted to row crew and volunteer for Phillips Brooks House, etc., I wanted the highest paying job on campus.
And whose room were you cleaning?
Caroline Kennedy.
And what did your parents give you for Christmas to honor that cleaning you were doing of Caroline Kennedy?
They bought a white plastic toilet brush and spray painted it gold. And they said, if you're going to clean a Kennedy toilet, you would have a gold toilet brush.
Can we step back for a minute?
Yes.
You know, it's not just the Harvard Club for 108 years. Harvard took, what, 370 years until Drew Faust Gilpin took over. And Boston in general, we can put up some statistics here. They're just pathetic. The most recent survey from the Boston Club through 2015, 22 of the 100 largest publicly traded corporations do business here, all male boards. 44 of those companies, no women in executive suites. And my favorite term that I never heard before, 15 zeros, meaning no board members, nobody in the C-suites who are women. What's wrong with the allegedly enlightened, progressive Boston, Massachusetts that we're so far behind so many other communities in these areas?
Well, I do think boards are often selected by recommendations of other board members. Board members are invited to come, and I think that you know, there aren't that many women present who can recommend and have a voice for more women to get on a board. At the Harvard Club, we're proud to say 33% of our board is female, 15% is minority.
But the whole community, I mean, these numbers are an embarrassment.
They are. And for a progressive state like Massachusetts, it's really wild.
You know, I guess a couple of weeks ago, Harvard, the president, took pretty strong action against these finals clubs. Basically said, if you want to continue to be single gender, then you're going to have to forget about leadership positions on sports teams, forget about recommendations for prestigious scholarships like the Rhodes and those sort of things. Did they make the right decision?
I believe they did.
And so how do you balance the whole notion of freedom to associate with those with whom you choose to associate with gender equity? How do you do that?
I think it was a loud statement on the part of President Faust that gender discrimination is not going to be allowed. And certainly not celebrated.
Are you also on the Harvard Admissions Board?
No, I have interviewed as an alum for many years. Yes.
So in that capacity, how do you react to the Supreme Court decision the last couple of days on affirmative action? What do you think of that?
I think it was fantastic.
What do you intend to do? What's the goal here, other than being hopefully a high-profile woman leader of a pretty esteemed institution in Boston? After 108 years. What's the agenda? What are you trying to do?
Well, I have three major objectives.
What are they?
One is to increase the membership. I think we haven't nearly reached capacity. The second is to greatly increase the diversity in the membership. And the third is one that I feel very passionate about, and that is to have the opportunity to contribute more to the community at large. I think Harvard has a tremendous amount to offer. I don't think we do enough, frankly, and I want to create a sense of Harvard with a heart.
But you're formally independent, are you not, from Harvard?
Yes.
So what impact, other than bully pulpit, do you have on what the institution itself does?
I think by creating certain venues where our members can get involved in actively making a difference in the community, it not only builds community within our Harvard Club, but also does greater good in Boston. You
know, my understanding, while the majority of members of the Harvard Club are Harvard graduates like yourself, you don't have to be a Harvard graduate.
That is correct.
Why, the only thing I can figure, why would a BU grad or something like that, to pretend they they went to Harvard? I mean, really, why do they want to belong to the Harvard Club rather than the BU Club or the whatever club?
Well, first of all, we have two fabulous physical clubhouses, and they not only provide wonderful dining options, but the programs that the club puts on with guest speakers and the intellectual connection with Harvard and recently MIT, and now moving forward with institutions like BU, provide a nuance that is unlike any other in the club.
The only thing you left out is you should have said, like the time when you and Marjorie Egan from Boston Public Radio were speakers of the Harvard Club. Is that what you meant to say?
Yes, that's right. And we would love to have you back, Jim.
We'll be back, Karen.
Great.
Congratulations.
Thank
Lots
you.
of luck. Hope
Thank
do
you very
great.
much.